Have you ever experienced this quiet confusion? At the beginning, everything felt easy. They were attentive, curious, emotionally present. They wanted to know how your day went, what you felt, what you dreamed about. And then, something shifted. Not suddenly, not dramatically, just enough for you to feel it. The replies took longer. The warmth soft, the effort became inconsistent. And you're left wondering in silence, why did they change after things got serious? Did I ask for too much? Was the connection ever real? That question doesn't scream. It sits quietly in your chest, heavy, unanswered. Before we go any further, let's make something very clear. This is not a video about blaming anyone, not you. This is about understanding. Because when someone changes after commitment, the most painful part isn't the change itself, it's the confusion. You replay conversations. You wonder if being honest, open, or emotionally available somehow pushed them away. If you're feeling that way, let me say this gently. You are not broken for wanting consistency. You are not needy for noticing emotional shifts. And you are not weak for feeling hurt when someone pulls back. What often happens after things get serious has far more to do with psychology than love. Why seriousness activates fear instead of comfort for many people. Emotional closeness feels exciting only when it's uncertain. In the early stages of a relationship, there's distance, mystery. That space feels safe to the nervous system of someone who fears emotional responsibility. But when things get serious, when labels appear, expectations form, and emotional availability becomes consistent. Because seriousness doesn't just mean love. It means exposure. Commitment quietly asks, can you be consistent? Can you be seen fully? Not just admired from a distance. And for someone with unresolved emotional wounds, those questions feel overwhelming. This change often appears in people with avoidant or fearful attachment patterns. They may crave connection, enjoy emotional closeness, want love deeply, but only when it doesn't feel permanent, when love becomes stable, predictable, and serious. Their nervous system interprets it as pressure, not safety. Instead of thinking, I'm loved, their body reacts with, not because you trapped them, but because closeness activates old fears of losing autonomy, identity, or emotional control. Some people grew up learning that love equals responsibility, emotional labor. So when a relationship becomes real, their subconscious says, this is where people get hurt. This is where I disappear. Pulling away becomes their way of regulating fear. Not because they stopped caring, but because caring started to feel too intense. Let's imagine something familiar. In the beginning, they texted you good morning. They remembered small details. They listened. Not just heard, they felt present. Then the relationship becomes official. Plans are made. You start building something real. And slowly, they're busy more often. Emotional depth feels one-sided. You're still the same. But suddenly you feel like you're reaching. You ask gently. They say, and maybe they are. But emotionally, something else is happening. What hurts most isn't their distance. It's that nothing dramatic happened. No fight, just a gradual emotional retreat that leaves you questioning your reality. You feel silly for feeling hurt. You tell yourself you're but your body knows something shifted. Here's the truth. Many people never say out loud. Most people don't change after things get serious on purpose. They don't wake up and decide to care less. They don't consciously plan emotional withdrawal. What changes is the internal experience of closeness. When love becomes real, unresolved fears surface, and distance becomes a coping mechanism. For someone emotionally overwhelmed, pulling back is how they breathe again. It's how they regain a sense of control, how they quiet the anxiety commitment stirs up. But from your side, it feels like you're not enough, you're asking too much, you did something wrong, and that's where the pain deepens. Because now you're not just missing them, you're doubting yourself. Not all emotional distance means lost love. Sometimes it means lost emotional safety, lost nervous system regulation, lost sense of internal balance. Some people love deeply but don't know how to stay open when love becomes consistent. They confuse intensity with freedom, distance with safety, and seriousness with loss. When someone pulls back emotionally, the other person often compensates. You become more understanding, more patient, more emotionally available. You try to hold the connection together. But love isn't meant to be carried by one nervous system. And when you start shrinking your needs to maintain closeness, something important is happening. You're adapting, not thriving. Over time, this dynamic creates quiet emotional exhaustion. You second-guess your feelings. Wait for emotional breadcrumbs, overinterpret small gestures. You miss the version of them you met at the beginning. But more painfully, you miss how you felt then. Seen. Chosen. Safe. If someone changed after things got serious, hear this carefully. It does not mean you were too much. It means seriousness touched something unhealed inside them. You didn't break the connection. You didn't love incorrectly. You didn't ask for too much by wanting consistency. Love that feels safe does not require you to stay confused, and emotional closeness should not cost you your peace. Sometimes the change is the answer, not because it explains everything, but because it shows you what someone is able to offer right now. And love isn't just about how someone feels at the start. It's about how they stay when it becomes real. If this helped you feel understood, even a little, you're not alone here. Subscribe for calm, psychology-based insights into emotional patterns, attachment styles, and healing. This is a space where emotions slow down to be understood, not judged. And if you're here, it means you're already listening to yourself more than you think.